Welcome back, viewers at home. You're still tuned in right here on INX Prime for beautiful conversation and inspiring journeys. Now, joining me this evening is Kgomotso Letlape, who is a dedicated advocate as well as key leader within Icare. Now, Icare is a non-profit organization that is making a tangible difference in the lives of many. Now, Icare's mission is to rebuild, restore, and positively impact communities by harnessing the power of care, support, as well as engagement. They provide sanitary towels and toiletries at schools, and they address other basic human needs, ensuring that no one is left behind. Kgomotso, good evening and welcome to INX Prime.
Good evening, and thank you. Thank you for having me here.
Now, we know the mission of this beautiful organization. We know what they're planning to do and what they currently are doing. It will be so unfair for us to continue getting to know it without actually understanding where is it, rooting from. What's the inspiration behind Icare?
Well, we came together as a collective of just friends and people who knew each other and shared the same desires and aspirations to try and, rebuild and have positive impact in our communities. Some of us came from those communities, so we came together and we formed this organization. We're an NPO. We currently have 48 volunteers. And we're just passionate about building and sustaining healthy relationships in our communities. So,
Now,
yeah.
amazing story. Now, what would you say drives its mission to continue doing the incredible work that it does within communities?
Um, I think for us, we want to lend the same kind of respect and inclusion and accountability that is seen in more affluent communities, and we really want to build that in the communities that are struggling, and we feel that our mission and our core values will actually drive that. We'll be able to include everyone in what we're trying to that we're aspiring to do rather.
Now, Kgomotso, I hear you speak about core values. If you can just enlighten us on some of those core values that keep on guiding Icare's work in the communities you serve.
Yeah, as I mentioned, inclusion is one of them. I think if one feels included as being part of the larger community, we are able to come together and work towards our vision. We include everyone and we hold everyone accountable, and we want the people that we help to feel that they can also be responsible for something bigger than what they are, or where they find themselves in. A lot of the time, people in struggling communities feel that they don't have a future. They lack aspirations about their lives, or even just desires to grow. And when we include them, when we hold them accountable, they're able to grow, and we're able to sustain, the vision and the mission that we have as an organization.
And I think for the whole of South Africa, we were quite shocked hearing about period poverty. And I believe that Icare focuses on providing sanitary towels as well as toiletries to schools. Just for our viewers at home to get a more understanding as to why you guys chose this particular area of a need, can you just share with us what was the reason behind selecting this area of focus, as well as what impact have you seen from these initiatives?
You just reminded me of a story that I shared with a colleague of mine, where we were talking about our hardships, with regards to periods when we were still in school, and how, some girls would use toilet papers where, if the school had toilet paper, and she said that there used to be a practice in her school where they would use, these thick notepad books. The girl will just sit on it, and we know the struggles. We've either experienced it, or we've seen it with our peers. So it's a struggle for many girls, and it's a problem for them. They don't get to attend school properly. And it's all mostly due to lack of resources, due to poverty. So the families are not able to provide for them for these. I mean, it's a basic need, and a lot of them end up missing school. So we focused on that, and we have been able to provide continuously these consumables to these schools, to these kids, and the schools have noted an increase in school attendance among school children. So yeah, it's a really big win for us and the children as well, the girl children especially.
Now we know that there's so many communities as well as schools who actually need the support of the beautiful work that you guys are doing at Icare. But how would you say that you go about identifying these very communities and schools so that you continue to providing support where is needed?
Our focus is mainly in schools and communities and informal settlements and in townships where we know that resources are scarce and that there's a, potentially high unemployment rate. So we look for schools but we research the communities and the schools carefully to make sure that the need is actually there. We engage with the teachers and the school governing bodies to see what is there, what are the needs, and and a lot of the time you can just see it by just observing the children. You can see that there is a need in the school or in the community. So a lot of the time, it's just something that we just identified by just seeing, by being in the community, we're able to see that need.
Now we know that with a lot of NPOs, the scarcity of funding and that of resources is something that has you guys, making sure you count all the cents that are relating to the spending as well as to how the resources are distributed. I want to understand from you, Kgomotso, what criteria does IK uses to ensure that resources reach those who actually need them the most?
So for us, our biggest challenge is funding currently, and we rely on donations, which are few and far between. And in a lot of the cases, we get our own volunteers giving out of their own pockets. So wasting resources, it's something that we know, all of us, that we cannot afford. So we do have, thorough put together standard operational procedures that we follow to ensure that, money is not used recklessly. And we account for every cent. We do have auditors in place. So we've got an accountant as well. So we make sure that, resources are used accordingly.
Now, Kgomotso, with your permission, is there a story that you'd like to share or experience that stands out to you to share with our viewers at home where iCare has made a significant impact on an individual or community?
Sure. There's a story of a young girl in one of the homes that we foster. We've been partnering with these children's homes for quite a while. And, once we started helping them out here and there, she was very touched about the work that we did. And she was saying that she's so motivated to do better. And she actually did do so well at school that she actually landed herself a scholarship in Taiwan. We've had to raise money for her airline ticket and her visa and, all these extras until she gets that side. But it's these kind of results that we see in the people that we help that affirms the impact that we have on our communities and these individuals. So it was actually inspiring for me to see that, the little that we thought we did had such a great impact on one individual. And now, I think at probably when we started working with the home, she probably never even thought that she would make it overseas. And she did it all on her own. So it's these kind of stories that inspires us to work harder, to do more, to do better.
Now, this also highlights how, serious the idea of period poverty, because you can only understand that had she stayed home, she would have missed out on this incredible opportunity. Now, Kgomotso, earlier on, you shared that funding being the most, something that really is quite challenging for Icare. I believe there are other challenges that Icare faces in efforts to providing basic human needs. If you can just share some of those challenges, as well as how do you go about leveraging the power of care support as well as engagement to overcome these challenges?
Sure. It's really hard. I think our organization we're still small, so we probably not even, getting the attention, if I can, for lack of a better word, that we require. But we are going all out there to source funding. But I think, the more we also engage a lot, with the communities around us and with the people that we work with, to make sure that, more is known about what we do, so that we can try and have a larger audience of people seeing what we do, so that we can get more and more funding. But I think, the most important thing, even in advertising, they will tell you that the best form of advertising is word of mouth. So I think the more good that we do in communities, the more word gets out there, and eventually we should get to a point where we are known about the good that we do and what we're trying to do in our communities, and we'll be able to get more funding that we need, and be able also to reach a wider audience of communities that are in need.
Now, Kgomotso, this was quite a delightful conversation, just hearing the beautiful work that you guys are doing at Icare. Now, just any future plans that you'd like to share with our viewers at home, or new projects on the horizon, as well as, just to close it off, any words of advice or, takeaway message that you would like our viewers to take home with?
Our biggest need currently is with regards to the two homes that we foster. There's the Tembelihle Place of Safety and Share Tears and Grow Home. They host about 12 children in each home, ranging from babies to 20-year-olds. So there's a lot of need in terms of school supplies, food. The homes need to be reworked, revamped, to accommodate all the children comfortably. So that, there's a lot of need there as well. But, there's a lot of other projects that we work on. We do food and clothes drives continuously in different communities. We do school shoes and socks donations to other schools. And we're also working on prison rehabilitation. So that's one of our activities that we do. But the biggest being, having to work on these homes, because of the children and, the need in these homes being bigger. So yeah, that's what we're working on at the moment. My appeal is for word to get out there, for people to see what we are doing, and hopefully, reach people who can come through and assist us and, build this organization with us, and so we can grow. There's greatness in numbers, and I believe that, with the help that we can get from people outside, then we can make this, we can really make this work.
Thank you so much, Kgomotso, for joining us this evening and just sharing this beautiful story done by beautiful NPOs, including, team members like yourself. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for the time.
Viewers at home, that was the key leader of Icare. Now, this is an NPO that is all about ensuring that things like, period poverty are all in the past. That's where we close it off for now. Let's head over to an ad break. See you when we come back.